Anyways, welcome back. As you guys probably know, JJK is currently ending. It has 5 chapters left. And you know what? I think all of us are a little bit sad that such a beautiful and amazing story is coming to an end. And it really is depressing, and it is really sad for us JJK enjoyers. At first, I didn't know this was happening until I went on Twitter. People are upset. People are bad. I will tell you guys in a second that I don't think this is as bad as what people are making out to be, and I actually almost think it's kind of a good thing. I'll explain myself in a second. Either way, let's look at these people who are extremely depressed and will be on medication soon. It'll be lonely without you, Jujutsu Kaisen. It truly will. And oh my gosh, when you go down in this feed, it's just sad. Gege is doing that thing again, breaking all of our hearts once again. Embrace the pain, it makes you stronger. Finally, Gege can end our suffering. Oh my gosh, there's been way too much suffering. It's been so freaking bad, and I'm not even 100% complete with all the reading, but I'm pretty close. And, you know, people are posting all of their art, kind of giving their final goodbyes to the show, and, it's mid anyway, though. I only watched it because of Gojo. Man, shut up, ho! Anyways, I want to give my opinion on something really quick, and you guys are free to be upset with me. You are free to be mad at me. Again, Jujutsu Kaisen is ending. My Hero Academia is also ending, but no one cares. But I want to explain why I don't think the JJK ending is necessarily a bad thing. You can argue with me on how JJK is ending and argue whether or not it's good. And to be fair, basically no one is alive anymore. It's really depressing. Gege is one of those people who we actually don't know. That's not even his real name, which is probably smart that we don't know his real name and he's ending the show or ending the manga. It might be smart he's ending the manga considering how many death threats he keeps on receiving from people on the internet. I wouldn't say he's actually the worst. I would say Fujimoto, my favorite manga of all time and show and anime, Chainsaw Man, made by Fujimoto. He literally put out a poll asking his fans who their favorite characters were, and then he killed them. So he's like Gege, but almost on steroids. But Gege keeps on receiving all of these death threats, and honestly, if I was in his position, I don't want to compromise my story and change it because people are upset with it. It's my story. But I also wouldn't want to receive death threats. I can understand the ending and understand people why they're upset with it, but here's why I actually am not too upset about it. The reason being is because Gege is choosing to tell the story the way he wants to. And he is not scared to kill off important members of the cast to tell a story that he finds interesting. And I think that's a good thing. I'm gonna be honest. There are way too many shows and animes, even ones that I enjoy and I like, where you feel there isn't any consequences for negative choices or being put in bad situations. Shows like Dragon Ball Z. Goku will never die. I'm going to be 100% certain with you that Goku will never die. And that show is at the point where it just continues and continues. Oh, Goku finds a new villain. He beats the villain gets stronger and discovers a new form, then beats up Goku, and then Goku trains and then beats the villain after finding a new form or learning some sort of new ability. That has been the format for Dragon Ball forever, and of course not all the battles are like that, but generally speaking, that's how it goes. I am not really cool with that format. I want to think that there is actual consequences to a story, that characters can die, that there isn't thick plot armor that is as thick as an M1 Abrams outer shell. I want there to be consequences in a story. I want it to be a possibility, even though I don't want the characters to die, I want there to at least be the option that it can happen because it allows me to be more emotionally invested into the story. I am never going to worry about Goku dying. He's not going to die. And every time he does die, he just gets brought back to life. There is no consequence in that, which makes the Dragon Ball story a little bit boring because you know there is no consequences to anything. The entire planet of Earth can blow up and he could just wish back with the Dragon Balls, hey, bring back everyone and planet Earth. Or you can go to planet Namek and do it that way either. It doesn't really matter. He can do whatever he wants. And now that he has Beerus on his team, and let's be honest, Beerus will do anything for him, realistically. He's already training him to basically be a god. Beerus is always going to be behind him to help him, which is literally the destroyer of that entire universe. There is no consequence to basically anything Goku does in that series, it seems like. I also don't want Jujutsu Kaisen to be extended to a point where it gets boring and oversaturated. We've seen in shows like Naruto where they continue the story for so long that we end up with this piece of crap. Boruto is just such a disappointing story that most Naruto fans, I feel like, don't care for Boruto, because Naruto has been so overused and they've run out of ideas to the point where they will just purposely do the most outrageous things. No one likes where Naruto is going. No one likes where Dragon Ball is going, in a sense where not many people like Super. I mean, there are people who like Super, but in reality, if you were to ask a lot of the people who watched the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, they would say the story just, it isn't catching anymore. It's not fun anymore. It's been going on for so long, and there's no consequences to things that happen in that show. It gets boring after a little bit, in my personal opinion. Could have JJK stayed around a little bit longer? Yes, it could have. And realistically, I feel like it should have stayed around a little bit longer. And again, we don't know how the ending is going to turn out. In reality, there's not much we can do to continue the story because everyone's gone, essentially. But what we do know is that we do have 5 more chapters. We don't know where it's gonna go. We don't know what's gonna happen. But I do appreciate that Gege is willing to tell a story that he wants to tell without needing to feel pressured by his community, and is willing to apply consequences and hard struggles into his show for any character in it, and not to provide thick plot armor to the point where it just makes the story redundant and boring. You know what I mean? I would have wished it would have stayed for a little bit longer, maybe add a few more arcs in between, because again, I do think it's a little bit early to kill off such a beautiful masterpiece. But I also do understand at the same time that extending an anime so far like they do with Dragon Ball or even Naruto, to the point where people are just upset with the new series or the new iteration of whatever it is of the IP, it gets a little bit upsetting. You feel like what you enjoyed as a childhood or what you enjoyed at the beginning has been ruined. Anyways, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section that, you know, whether you agree or disagree with me. I assume there's gonna be a lot of people who disagree with me, which is completely fine. We're allowed to have different opinions. Maybe you guys can educate me on something maybe I missed. But feel free to comment down below your feelings on Jujutsu Kaisen ending, and I will see you guys later. Bye.